That you could turn back time just to fix one mistake from the past? A careless word that hurt someone, a wrong decision that made everything fall apart, or perhaps just a moment of pride that cost you someone's trust. We've all been there. Those days when looking back makes your heart heavy, wishing you hadn't messed up. But life doesn't let us erase our mistakes. The only thing we can do is learn to stand up again, forgive ourselves, and become better with every stumble. This is the story of Max, a man who lost everything because of one small mistake, but through that very failure, he found his true self. The day everything fell apart. That morning, the sky was gray. Max sat in his office staring blankly at the flashing red message on his screen. Project canceled. Reason: data error by Maxwell Ray. His heart froze. A single mistake in data verification had cost the company millions. The meeting room went silent. His boss, who had once believed deeply in him, said coldly, "We can't trust you anymore, Max." One sentence, one moment, and everything collapsed. Max packed his things and walked out into the pouring rain. His umbrella slipped from his hand, and the raindrops blended with his tears, cold and bitter. All that echoed in his mind was one thought: I've ruined everything. The darkest days. After that day, Max disappeared. He turned off his phone, cut off his friends, and hid away in a dim apartment where sunlight rarely entered. Mornings passed in silence. Nights came with the smell of cold coffee and endless thoughts. If only I'd been more careful. If only I hadn't been so overconfident. But if only never changed anything. One night, while aimlessly scrolling online, Max stumbled upon a quote. "Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is what you learn from them." He let out a bitter laugh. Easy to say, but living with your mistake, that's the hard part. He didn't know then that very sentence would be the first ray of light piercing through his darkness. One morning, Max received a message from Emma, a former colleague. "I've opened a small cafe. Come by if you're free." He hesitated for a long time, but eventually he went. The air was warm with the scent of roasted coffee. Emma was wiping the counter, and when she saw him, she smiled. "Long time no see, Max." They sat down and talked about the past. After a while, Max whispered, "I ruined everything, Emma. I disappointed everyone. I don't deserve another chance." Emma looked at him gently. "You know, I once made a mistake even worse than yours." Max lifted his head in surprise. She continued, "Years ago, I accidentally sent confidential data to a competitor. I thought my career was over. But my boss..." From that day on, Max began to change. He woke up early, jogged in the park, read books about growth, and relearned the skills he once neglected. On his wall, he wrote 3 lines. "I was wrong. I can do better. I will not give up." He started looking for new jobs, not at big corporations, but small, humble places. Some people mocked him. Used to be a manager, now just an employee? But Max simply smiled. "If starting over makes me better, I'll do it." Mistakes no longer terrified him. They became teachers. He realized that sometimes we must fall hard to see what truly needs to change. 3 years later, Max had become a team leader at a small startup, respected and trusted by everyone. But what made him special was that he never forgot how it felt to fail. One day, a new employee accidentally entered the wrong data, causing the company to lose a major client. The young man trembled, on the verge of tears. Max placed a hand on his shoulder and said gently, "I know that feeling. I once made an even worse mistake. But listen, everyone makes mistakes. What matters is how you grow from them. Be better next time. That's how you truly make things right." The room fell silent, and in that moment Max realized he had truly changed. His scars no longer hurt, they had healed, reminding him that only by facing our past do we grow stronger. One evening, Max stayed late at the office. The golden light reflected off the windows while the city glimmered outside. He opened an old folder, the same one containing the failed report that once destroyed his career. But this time, instead of shame, he felt peace. He smiled and whispered, "Thank you for that mistake," because without it, he might still be the arrogant, restless man who had never learned compassion for himself or others. That mistake broke him, but it also taught him how to stand again. Once, during a talk with new employees, Max said, "When I was young, I thought successful people never made mistakes. But now I know, the strongest people are the ones who face their mistakes, fix them, and grow stronger." He paused, looking out the window where the sunset painted the sky red. If you've ever made a mistake, Don't be afraid. Learn to forgive, to stand up, and to keep moving forward. Life doesn't punish you for failing, it only punishes you when you stop trying to be better. Mistakes are not the end, they are merely commas in the long sentence we call life. We all stumble, lose our way, and do things we regret. But what makes us different isn't being flawless. It's the courage to change, to grow, and to come back stronger. Max once failed, was rejected, and fell deep into despair. But he didn't stay there. Because in the end, he learned that everyone makes mistakes, but only those who learn from them truly grow.
If you find this video interesting and meaningful, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.